Khalid was not merely a man of wealth, he was a figure whose influence stretched across kingdoms. His estates dotted the land, his businesses thrived in distant cities, and the glimmer of his gold mines kept many leaders seeking his favor. Some feared him, others revered him. Yet despite all this, a quiet torment often whispered in his heart. Would they still value me if I had nothing at all? One warm evening, as the sunset painted his mansion balcony in hues of crimson and gold, he murmured the question aloud. By his side stood his loyal confidant and driver, Musa, who had watched his master's silences grow heavier. Khalid, my brother, you've barely spoken tonight. What burden rests on your shoulders now? Musa asked, wiping sweat from his brow. Khalid exhaled deeply, his gaze fixed on the fading sun. Musa, I'm about to marry into the Adjuro family. They are admired, wealthy, and known for their beauty. But I cannot shake this fear. What if their love is for my riches, not for the man I truly am? Musa frowned, rubbing the back of his head. You are right. Smiles can hide daggers. Many kneel before gold but turn blind to the heart. Khalid's hands suddenly clapped together as if struck by a revelation. Exactly. That is why I must know. I'll strip myself of these riches, disguise as a beggar, and walk into their compound with nothing. Only then will I see their true faces. Musa's eyes widened in horror. Khalid, no. What if they humiliate you, beat you, or worse? Your pride, your dignity. Khalid's voice hardened, eyes burning with conviction. Let them. If their love is shallow, then it is not love meant for me. I must see for myself. Musa was silent for a long moment, the chirping crickets filling the space between them. And Amina, your betrothed, do you think she will even recognize you hidden beneath rags? That is what I long to know, Khalid replied, voice low. If her love is true, she will see beyond the dust into my soul. Musa bowed slightly. As you will it. But promise me you'll be careful. Prepare the disguise, Khalid commanded. At dawn, I leave. When morning came, Musa returned with worn slippers, a torn shirt, and trousers that barely clung to life. Khalid dressed in them, and when he stared into the mirror, even he struggled to recognize himself. The man who once embodied the pride of the capital's nobility was gone. In his place stood a shadow shaped by hunger and poverty. Musa chuckled nervously. Looking like this, even my grandmother wouldn't hand you scraps. Good, Khalid said with a strange smile. That's the look I need. And so, the great Khalid vanished into the garments of a pauper, determined to uncover truths buried beneath wealth and appearances. In the compound of the Adjuro family, anticipation buzzed like bees in a hive. They expected Khalid's grand arrival, but none knew he had already crept into their world, hidden in plain sight among hawkers outside their gates. Inside, Amina, his fiancée, stood before a mirror draped in glistening gold lace. She admired herself, lips twisted into a satisfied smile. Mother, once I marry Khalid, this dusty village will no longer see my shadow. I will live like royalty. Her mother, Madame Adjuro, chuckled, pride glowing in her eyes. My clever daughter. With Khalid's wealth, our chains of poverty will break. Soon, we'll sip wine in mansions far from this soil. In the corner of the room stood Layla, the youngest member of the household, not by blood but by circumstance. She had been taken in years ago, treated more like a servant than a sister. Soft-spoken and kind-eyed, her beauty shone quietly, hidden beneath humility. Do you need help with your necklace? Layla asked timidly. Amina's eyes flashed with disgust. Stay away, filthy girl. Your hands will ruin my jewels. Layla bowed her head, swallowing her shame. Yes, sister. Rolling her eyes, Amina muttered. I still wonder why that ragged beggar wanders near our compound. If I ever see him again, I'll douse him in dirty water. Behind the fence, Khalid's jaw clenched. This is the woman I had chosen? His chest ached with bitterness. Still, he stepped forward, shoulders hunched, voice broken. Please, madam. I have not eaten for days. A morsel of food, I beg. Amina spun with fury. Who let this animal inside? Layla. Fetch dirty water, I'll show him where he belongs. Layla froze, clutching a bowl of clean water. Her heart trembled, but her voice was steady. No, sister. Please, he looks hungry. Let me give him this. Amina's rage exploded. Are you mad? That thing is beneath goats. Ignoring her, Layla knelt beside Khalid, offering the bowl. Drink, sir. It is all I have, but may it grant you peace. Khalid raised his eyes, and in hers he saw no judgment, only compassion. Thank you, Kind one. May blessings find you always. Madame Maduro roared. Foolish girl. Feeding strangers while your family starves? You are worthless. The slap of her words cut deeper than any whip, but Layla bowed and walked away silently, carrying wounds no one could see. Khalid's heart, however, carried a seed of hope. Amid the cruelty, one soul had shone with unshakable light. Determined to continue his test, Khalid walked into the bustling village square disguised as a beggar. Dust clung to his skin, and his proud shoulders drooped with defeat. Traders shouted, children ran between stalls, and the air hummed with life. But when he appeared, scorn followed. Lazy fool, a trader mocked. Find work instead of polluting our market. Bring bad luck elsewhere, an old woman spat. Another man kicked aside his sack. No space for useless mouths here. Khalid endured it all in silence, his heart bruised but unyielding. Suddenly, Madame Maduro and Amina strode in, adorned in bright silk and jingling jewelry. Their laughter was sharp, slicing through the air. Khalid lowered his head and pleaded. Good madam, spare food for a starving man. Amina's eyes blazed. You again? Filth! How dare you soil our path? She lifted a shiny coin, letting it glisten. Do you want this? Then kneel, dog. Beg before all. The crowd roared with cruel laughter. Madame Maduro clapped in glee. With pride screaming within him, Khalid slowly fell to his knees, pain carving lines across his soul. Just then, Amina dropped the coin into the mud. You're not worth even that, she spat. As humiliation consumed him, a voice cut through the mockery. Stop! Please stop! All turned to see Layla rushing forward. Ignoring insults, she knelt beside Khalid. You don't kneel alone, she whispered. No one deserves this. Her hands wiped mud from his face with trembling resolve. The crowd's laughter died into silence. Amina sneered. Foolish girl. He's diseased. Layla's voice cracked but held firm. He is a man, a human being, and he deserves dignity. She pressed a piece of bread into his palm. It is all I have, but please eat. Khalid's throat tightened. He no longer saw a servant. He saw a queen clothed in kindness. The next dawn, tragedy struck the village. The chief's ancient storehouse erupted in flames, smoke rising like a curse. Villagers cried out, and chaos gripped the streets. Then came accusations. Chief Aduro, Amina's father, pointed to Khalid. There, the beggar. He burned it out of jealousy. Yes, Amina added swiftly. He's bitter and dangerous. The crowd turned against him. Guards seized Khalid, chains binding his wrists. He stammered, I didn't. I swear I didn't. But no one listened. Only one voice rose. Layla forced her way through the mob. He didn't do this. He is innocent. But her pleas fell on deaf ears. Khalid was dragged to the palace prison. As the heavy doors swallowed him, Layla whispered, I will not abandon you. In the cold cell, shadows mocked him. Hunger gnawed, and despair pressed harder than chains. Yet one night, a lantern's glow revealed Layla carrying food. Why do you risk this? Khalid asked, eyes wet. Because my heart cannot watch you suffer, she whispered. I know you are innocent, and I believe in you. Tears fell freely between them, a bond forged in pain and truth. 4 nights she returned, mocked by villagers, beaten by fate, yet unwavering. She even sold her mother's necklace to buy medicine when fever racked his body. Why? Khalid rasped. Because even a man in rags carries gold within him, Layla said. And I see yours. At last, the truth surfaced. Captured bandits confessed to the fire. Guards unlocked his chains. You are free, they declared. Layla rushed into his arms, tears glistening. Did you hear? You can go home. Khalid's voice cracked. You saved me. Together, they stepped from darkness into light, their bond now unbreakable. Back in his quiet home, Khalid finally confessed. Layla, the poverty you saw, it was not real. I am not poor. I am wealthy, powerful. I disguised myself to see who would love me for my heart. Layla froze, pain dawning across her face. So I was part of your test. No, he pleaded. You became everything. My light in the dark. But betrayal cut deep. She walked away, heart wounded. Days passed with silence between them, though she still brought him food, her kindness unbroken. Khalid ached, fearing he had lost her forever. Meanwhile, Madame Maduro and Amina, consumed with envy, spread rumors that Layla was promised to another man. The lies spread like fire, reaching Khalid's ears. He ran to her. Tell me it isn't true, he begged. She looked down, voice trembling. Does it matter? It matters to me. You saw me when no one else did. Don't abandon us now, he said. You were never my experiment. You were my answer. Her eyes searched his, and slowly she nodded. I forgive you. But promise me truth forever. I swear it, he said, hand over his heart. When he asked for her hand, tears of joy filled her eyes. Yes, Khalid. I will marry you. They wed beneath the great baobab tree, the place where she had first knelt beside him. It was simple, yet sacred. As they exchanged vows, the sun broke through clouds, bathing them in golden light. Their love blossomed into a family. Soon, their daughter Amira was born, her laughter filling the halls of their home. Khalid, once doubtful of love, now bathed her feet, sang to her belly, and prayed over her dreams. Life carried on with peace, though whispers of envy lingered in the village. Madame Maduro and Amina, stripped of suitors and pride, withered in bitterness. But Khalid and Layla carried no hatred. We water only love, they would say. Years later, as they sat watching Amira play beneath the baobab tree, Khalid turned to Layla. Had I never disguised myself, would we have found each other? Layla smiled gently. Love finds its way, even through disguises. He took her hand, eyes shining. That day in the mud, you gave me worth. And you gave me a voice, she whispered. Together, they watched their daughter laugh, proof that love, once tested by fire, had emerged unbreakable.